What's going on, everybody? This is Brian Mazique, aka Unique Mazique, and it is my pleasure to once again talk to PFL champion and just outstanding fighter, Impa Kasangany. How you doing today, Impa?
Hi, Mr. Brian. How you doing? Thanks for having me. I appreciate you.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. It is my pleasure to speak to you again. It seems like we always talk right before you win. So I don't know. I think it feels like you need to like talk to me like every 3 months.
I talk to you every day. I'm here to win every day. So we
Yeah,
talk.
you're gonna win every day. You win every day. So
Appreciate you.
I gotta ask you, man. This is like this pace that you have been on is unbelievable in terms of like just activity and obviously success. This is going to be, I believe, your fifth fight in 9 months. So my question is, how do you feel?
I feel solid. You know what I mean? My body is like the fifth fight in 9 months. I think it's 10 fights in 18 months ish. So
Yes, something like that.
I'm maybe have nicked some bruises, but I mean I'm very healthy. like I love it. I mean it's funny because I it wasn't the same level of fighters or opponents, right? But it was relative to where I was when I first started fighting. I my first six fights in 7 months or first six fights in 5 months. So it was about
Yeah.
the same. You know, like I believe sometimes like God shows you where you're gonna be before you get there. So I was prepared mentally, spiritually, physically. I love to fight. Honestly, if I could fight in a year 10, 12 times for sure, I would. I don't
Mhm.
know how beneficial it'd be for my body in the camps, but there's something about fighting I just like
Yeah.
I love. You know, so it's like I'm grateful. You know, I think PFL. I'm gonna tell PFL I'm upset with them because they tease us. You know, we have like 6 fight. We have every 6 weeks we fight. Every 6 weeks we fight. They're like, now wait 15 weeks. Like I'm counting down the days to fight, and they're just like, all right, now wait 15 weeks. I know they're doing like the championship, so they let people rest and build 5 round fights, and they want to make it a grand thing, and they're going in the right direction, but there's nothing like being told you got to do what you love, or like someone's ahead of us and you don't know, and you're waiting to hear about. You're waiting for it. So yeah, I feel solid. I'm just ready to get out there and do what I love and get back to Saudi Arabia and at a different time of the year. So just very blessed, very blessed.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Now I want to ask you obviously about your opponent, but when I kind of something you just said made me think about something else. If you could compare the anticipation and the enjoyment that you get from fighting to compare it to something that more people in the world who like, because most people in the world, we got like 1 to 2% of the people in the population that can even relate to what it's like to go into a fight.
Mhm.
Um, Relate that to somebody else so they may be able to understand why you say, man, I loved it this much.
Yeah, it's like I don't know, maybe it's like everybody falls in love with something or somebody at
Mhm.
about time in their life,
Mhm.
and let's say it's like a long distance relationship and you're just waiting to see that person and it's been good, you've had your arguments, you've had your good days, you've had your bad days, you've had your amazing days, maybe there's a time you're together around each other every single day, but then you have to spend time away to go build your career, they have to build theirs, or let's say it's somebody you care about and they're in prison, maybe say it's somebody you
Right.
care about it, like just so many different things. Maybe your relationship and the person you love had to go study overseas because they have a great opportunity to build their career, and you both are on the same page. You both have these goals,
Mhm.
right? Let's say your heart's been broken before and you finally found the person you click with, and when you finally find the person you click with, you're at a distance,
Mhm.
right? So there's a huge misunderstandings and all that stuff, and then you finally get to see them. Then now, as the days get closer, you're like, oh my gosh, finally, like this gets to happen. Like I
Yeah.
could care less if we're sitting at a coffee shop. I could care less if we're sitting at um, we're on the at the ritziest restaurant or the our favorite hole in the wall or pizza spot. I think everybody can relate to that,
Yeah.
right? Somebody you just want to see so badly is like what a fight feels like. It's like finally, like it's like you're not nervous to see them. You're just like you want it to be a great moment,
Yeah.
right? You want it to be so you do everything you can in between. Like you know how it is. You're a guy. You'll get a fresh cut.
Yeah.
You find new clothes. You find clothes you probably can't even afford, but you still get those things on you.
Yeah.
You make sure you brush your teeth 50 times. Yeah. You look up recipes to learn how to cook, and then you realize you can't cook, so you just go to a cool restaurant. You want to walk and spend time with that person every waking hour. That to me is what a fight's like. It's like You get to do what you love. You
Yeah.
get to be with what you love, and it's like it's not the opponent. Like the opponent can change. It's PFL, which I think is awesome. It could be an alternate. It could be whoever. It's but I get to do what I love, go claim victory, and that benefits not only my life but those around me. I have a lot of projects going on, and anytime success breeds success, right? So I keep having these moments, right? Like I'm very grateful. You know, when I go claim this victory on the Black Friday on the 29th in the title fight, I know it's going to help benefit a lot of other things that I have going on. You remember all the challenging moments that helped you get there. You remember all the the heartbreaking moments. You remember all these different things, and you finally get there, and you own that moment, and that's what that is for me. So that's like if I could relate that to anybody, just think about it like something you fall in love with, somebody you fall in love with, and you haven't seen them for a long time
Yeah.
and finally you're about to see them. So that's the anticipation. That's the some people feel anxiety, some people feel nerves, some people feel excitement, some people feel like tiredness. There's so many different reasons why people get to where they get to, right? Like their route. But to me, fighting is like that. Fighting is that thing where you're just like, gosh, like you can spar as many times as you want, you can train as much as you want, you can grapple as much as you want, and you still love it. But there's nothing like that special day. There's nothing like Christmas. There's nothing like your favorite holiday. There's nothing like Thanksgiving with the family when you finally get it all together, and then when it's all said and done, you're like, "Wow, we did it!" Like that's a special thing.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man. I think that is probably the best way I've ever heard anybody put, explain why they love fighting. Because a lot of people probably would not be able to understand. Like you see a guy say, or they see a fighter say something like that, and they're like, I don't get it. But I think that's it right there. That's it
Mhm.
right there. So now your opponent, man, you got Davlat Yakshamuradov coming up. And he too, just like you, has had crazy pace this year, right? So tell me what, if anything, you are concerned about when you go into this fight.
Concern that's like as far as like a worry.
Hey, I know this about this guy. I've watched him. He's great at this. This is one of my focuses.
Oh, I'm not concerned or worried about anything. I respect him as a man. He is. I respect that he's an excellent fighter. He's crafty. He's coached very well. Um, but that's what I prayed for, right? Those are the things you want. You want the best fighters. Like I don't want to just fight people who are just another. Like I don't just want to fight people who are just another guy.
Yeah.
I want to fight the best to prove that I'm the best, right?
Yeah.
Every single day, to myself, to God, to my family. Like I'm not here to fight people who are okay or average. Like I fight. I mean, hey, like let's say the alternate was Josh. I fight again. I'm grateful. Let's say the alternate was Rob Wilkinson. Awesome. I'm grateful. It doesn't matter who the opponent. It's like a blank canvas to me.
Mhm.
But I there's no need to be anxious in life. No need to be worried or nervous. Like I'm prepared. I put myself through the ringer in training. I go with the toughest rounds, the best training partners that God provides, and I know that at the end of the day, when it's all said and done, that clock strikes zero. Finish them in the first round, second, third, fourth, fifth decision. I know that like my intent is to kill. My intent is to honor God, do my job, respect my opponent, shake hands, move forward, right?
Mhm.
And I'm prepared. You know,
Yeah.
so it's like I think you're only worried when you're unprepared. All right. You're only worried when you don't know what to do, like to say to relate to that, right? Where we talk about earlier, for people who hear this and they don't fight or would not understand fighting, or just have a different perspective. Like when you have your ducks in a row and you love that person, and you guys are on the same page, you're centered around God, you have a relationship, you're going in the right direction. You're always gonna just be like, you're not worried because you know they got your back, you got theirs through highs and lows, everything, and that like whether it's a grind of a fight, it's a quick finish, it's a domino one. You know, at the end of the day, you finish your hands raised, you claim victory, and I keep my eyes focused on the target. So that's it.
Yeah, man. I'm really obviously I'm looking forward to the fight. One thing is I can say you do not have you don't have boring fights. Your fights are going to always be, hey, we got in here, we brought it, and this is how it went down. So I love that about your fights. I got to ask you a question because this is kind of like a kill cliff related question. Um, and so there's been some talk. There was some talk going around about this. Ilia Topuria spent some time there, I guess,
Yeah,
training. for Josh for Josh Emmett when he fought him
Mm-hmm.
in 23. Did you cross paths at all? Were you there when he was training?
Yeah, so I mean, Ilia and I, we met in 2020. Um, like not best friends or anything, but just every time we see each other, it's respect. Like he congratulated me when I won my title.
Hmm.
Um, I know his agent. Uh, it's kind of cool how we crossed paths. You know, it was funny enough we bumped into each other in Vegas at the end of last year or earlier this year. No, end of last year. One of the two. End of last year, early this year. Um, he's a solid guy. And then I saw him again when he was getting ready for whatever fight that was when he came by the gym for
Yeah.
a little bit.
Yeah, they were saying, someone was saying, I think it was like Gilbert Burns, a couple other guys were saying that he was there. They like he knocked out 3 sparring partners, and like none of the Dagestani guys that were there could take him down. Did you see any of that?
I didn't see. I know when he was here, I was preparing for a fight. I know he did well. Um, like not to you, but to anybody. I'm saying God is my witness. I didn't watch, so I have nothing to say. But even if I did, like I would never talk about my teammates that way.
Mm.
Like it's like I think it's. I guess like people kind of just try to say it for clicks. I mean, I know he did well. I know he trained hard. I know he definitely showed like he has a high level skill set, and people are definitely talking about him. But I don't get into all that. I think that's
Yeah,
too much gym drama, and I think it kind of lowers the standard of the gym, right? Like because people are here to get better. It's a ludus. It's a place to work. I think you can pick training partners. I think you can pick people to put in the cage who might not have as much experience or skill yet. But I don't know if he went with all the elite guys either, right? I don't know if he went with. I know what weight class is he? He didn't go with Gilbert. He didn't go
featherweight.
with other guys. But that doesn't take away from his greatness. Obviously, he's a champion. But I think sometimes the kids here who are from the and then and to say Dagestanis are not all from Dagestan. I think it's kind of like a very ignorant thing to say, even by guys I consider my friends. We have guys from Chechnya, we have guys from Tajikistan, Turkmenistan, uh, Dagestan, Ossetia, Mahachkala. Like we should be more specific. And we have American guys who went with him, wrestlers too. Like I think he did well versus most people and everybody, but it's not all the guys. These guys are still coming up, right? So it's like any gym you go to, you take the guys for 1 or 2 fights, and you go with the guy who has almost however many fights Ilia has, right?
Mm.
And experience. It's always going to look better, but I don't think that takes away. Uh, I just know that he did well. I was definitely getting ready for a fight at the time he came, whatever fight that was, obviously with my pace. I
Right,
don't,
right. It's kind of blended in.
I don't have time to talk about that, but I just think that we could have done a better job in sharing that in the media,
Yeah,
right? Because I think that it could have got out of the excitement and what Ilya is doing.
yeah,
We could have People could have been like, "Oh yeah, he was just out here getting after people." I know he got after people for sure.
yeah,
But I'm pretty sure there were moments where he gained from that too. Because as much as I respect Ilya and his team, they came here, they
yeah,
came to our house, and what I
yeah,
respect about Ilya too, he's never spoke on that.
yeah,
The best thing I would say is that people should ask him because he was in the rounds. For what I remember, I didn't even see. So like, I just
yeah,
remember seeing him, be like, "What's up, dog?" And I'm back to my work. So,
yeah,
uh, but he's awesome though, man, and I like him a lot. Like he carries himself well. He's a champion. He's definitely committed to this, and he's doing his business. And I just pray he stays blessed because he's doing his thing.
yeah, man. I respect that answer. I 100% respect that answer. I respect the loyalty and the
Appreciate you.
honor overall, man. But I know that you had a hard stop here. I
Oh,
appreciate your time for sure. I'm feeling like I'm like obviously God is with you. I'm feeling like I'm a good luck charm too.
and we come in an agreement. We come in an agreement. We're gonna claim this victory November 29th, and I'll see you before the next victory too.
Yes, sir. Yes,
So
sir. I
just
appreciate your input, man. You have
appreciate
a
you.
great day, bro.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate it. God bless.
Peace.